What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. In today's video it's gonna be the continuation of the last video in which I was talking about the new trio legends, so Kid, Luffy and Law. So I was talking about the three units there and their abilities, the Sugofest structure, where you should be pulling or if you should be pulling at all, and what I think I'm gonna be doing. But now that we have talked about the units, I wanted to make a video about the upcoming units in the future. So all the units that have come to JP until now, and then discussing the meta, the banners, and where I think you should be pulling in terms of PvP, what teams it's most worth to invest in, what banners it's better to skip, maybe depending on your priorities. So that is gonna be also, I want to remind, just in my opinion, and also just in PvP perspective, not in the normal game. And if you want to prioritize the normal game over PvP, there's probably other better decisions you could do. But in terms of PvP and the current meta, I wanted to do a video explaining about the future meta and what are we gonna be getting. I know I did some video that I will link here in the description, in which I was talking about the 5 meta colors. I mean, it's true that Yamato hadn't released yet, but that you could watch that to be more informed about what I'm talking about when I talk about the 5 meta colors. But now I'm gonna be talking about the future banners and what teams I do think that it's most worth to invest your gems on. Now also knowing the information about Yamato, which by the way I'm gonna be uploading a video like I think tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. As I said in my previous video, it's gonna be a month with a lot of videos, not every day obviously, but with a lot of videos because there's gonna be a lot of content this September. And also I decided that I wanted to do some kind of a road to 1k subscribers. And by the way, if I would really appreciate it if you subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, but I already explained about that in my last video, which you can see linked here on top. So definitely, if you haven't checked out the information about the 3 Super Sugofest exclusive units of Kid, Luffy and Law, go check that out here on top. But yeah, so as I was saying, we are almost there to the 1k subscribers, so it would be really happy if we could get there, for example, let's say this month. But if not, well, eventually I'm guessing we will get there, but let's see. So, and I was saying in my previous video, I said that if I get to 1k, I was thinking of doing something special, like a big stream going all the way. For example, if it's one of the blocks, then going to the end of the block. Maybe if it's championship, not going to the tops, but going high, so that you can see in the stream a lot of teams being used and a lot of matches done and everything. And I'm discussing every variations and everything. I think that could be a very interesting idea. And yeah, but now let's actually talk about the future units and the future teams. So first I'm gonna be talking about this month. So this is still gonna come this month, at the middle of this month. So this is gonna be Kizuna, Legend, Sabo and Ace, which is an amazing unit. And I'm not gonna be in extreme detail talking about what the unit does, but I'm just gonna be talking about what the unit is focused about. So Sabo and Ace is a dual unit, so obviously he's not gonna fit in that 5 meta colors, but he's actually a rainbow unit and he's actually amazing. I will just read very quickly what he does in Power Rumble, because you guys need to read this because he's crazy. Like, basically rainbow, speed up level 6 and defense up level 3 for the whole match. So that is in terms of defense, it's better than Roger, but and the speed is similar than Roger also for the whole match, but Roger has other things in his passive. So yeah, but then the special 2.5 characters to damage in enemies in a large range, so an amazing range, massive damage, 50% doing paralysis on 3 enemies, so kind of similar to Kaido. Then level 3 attack up to allies, and level 3 defense up to allies, so that's a crazy unit. Like, just by himself he can give a rainbow defense up in total level 6, also speed up level 6, also attack up, massive damage, and also a bit of paralysis, which is nice. So also the cooldown is what's crazy about him, because it's 28-second cooldown for a 2.5 times the attack unit. It's kind of crazy, but he basically fits in rainbow teams, and rainbow teams can be really good. So I do think that this unit could be really useful in terms of PvP, because he fits everywhere. I haven't seen him used in a lot of teams apart from rainbow teams, but I do think that he could be a niche unit very worth having. For example, now in this championship, like it was having Fire Tank Parrots, it could be really similar to have this unit. It could make a difference, but I do not see him being in one of the meta teams. I mean, yeah, definitely you can do some crazy variations, I guess, with him, but I do not see him being in one of the meta teams. But first I want to talk about the units and everything, and in some of the cases I will be talking about the actual available units and everything, because it's gonna be important. So next it's gonna be the release of B2 Marco and Whitebeard versus Shanks, which is gonna be at the end of this month. I'm guessing around the 28th, 29th, but I have no idea. But it's gonna be at the end of this month because it was announced at the end of this month, and taking into consideration the difference of days in JP, it should be around the 28, 29, 27, something like this. So it's gonna be Marco, and on a separate banner probably Whitebeard versus Shanks. So I'm gonna be talking about the two units. So Marco is a very good unit for an in team, gives a little bit of heal, also very high damage, and a little bit of special city up, which can actually be really useful. So Marco is a very good unit for an in team, and then Whitebeard versus Shanks. Whitebeard is very useful for an in team, a very tanky unit, and then Shanks is very useful for a side team, also very tanky unit, but massive fixed damage. I'm not gonna be talking about extensively about their abilities, but I'm just gonna be giving you an idea, because if not the video is gonna be very long, because at the end of the day this is just to give a full picture of the future Sugofests, where I think you should be pulling or not. So as I said, Shanks a key unit for the side team, and Whitebeard kind of key unit for an in team, very good unit for an in team, and can be used in an in team with really good results. Next we're gonna be having the monthly PvP banner, which is gonna be releasing PvP limited rare recruit Cracker, which is gonna be a strength based character, and they try to do something similar to Kid, giving him a special, targeting one unit for one time attack ignoring defense on a low cooldown. But unfortunately I do not think he's gonna be that used in strength teams. He can be used, he with the special will give special city up, but I think it's kind of backwards thinking what they did, because they should have given a little bit of special city up with the passive, so that this special city up can charge from the beginning. Because if you just give special city up to Kid on second, let's just say second 20, it's not gonna be that big of a difference. Like the special city up is useful when it is from the start and you have a lot of seconds to gain that advantage, but if you just have special city up for 10 seconds, it's not changing that much, and you want basically the special city up to help Kid activate faster. So I do not think in terms of that purpose it's gonna fulfill it that way, but I do think that he is can be really good. The damage ignoring defense is very good, but it's just one unit. But yeah, so you can be pulling there, but I wouldn't really recommend it, and I do not think I'm gonna be pulling. Maybe I'm gonna be doing the discount multi, or maybe I'm not gonna be pulling at all. So next we have Treasure Map Sanji, which is gonna be, I would say, let's just say here it was 10 of June, and Cracker was releasing on the 4th of June. So in a week after Cracker, it's gonna be middle October probably, it's gonna be Treasure Map Legend Sanji, which is gonna be a side unit, and it's gonna be a very good unit for a side team. The thing is that I think there's other units to be used. There's some specific variations of side teams that kind of need him, but it's just some niche variations. Some niche variations that were kind of able to beat the in team before Yamato, but not sure now with Yamato. So he obviously is a wanted unit that you want for a side team, but I wouldn't say he's required for a side team. So I would not totally recommend and tell you, oh yeah, you should be pulling for this unit. If you get him, it's really good in PvP, but it's not totally required. So after Sanji, we have Queen and King. So Queen is a tech centered unit, King is a quick centered unit. Now the thing is that for a Dex team, Queen can be really good and is used now with PvP Kizaru that I'm gonna be talking about. King is not really that used. So in terms of PvP, immediately, probably I wouldn't pull for King. Now pulling for Queen, it's a matter that I'm gonna be talking about later. but he's not that amazing in PvP. He can be really good, but he's not that amazing or required in PvP. I do think that Dex teams have a lot of options for a fifth unit, and yeah, Queen can be used and can be really good, but there's other better options, I think. I mean, not better, but options that can replace him. He is really good, don't get me wrong. Then we have the next PvP banner month, which is gonna be the release of Gaban. Now, Gaban is a very good unit for a side team. So if you're going for a side team, you want this guy, even if it's just for the bench. But he will give massive HP with the to side with the passive, so that can be really good. And also, side does not have a lot of PvP limited rare cards apart from Kalgar and Nolan. So I do think that that is a very useful character to have if you have a side team. Now, apart from that, I do think that if you are skipping Cracker, and in the case like myself, if you have skipped Smoker and you're missing Smoker, basically, it's not that bad of an idea to do maybe 5 multis on the Gaban banner, hopefully getting Smoker and hopefully getting Gaban. And also, I think Whitebeard versus Shanks is gonna be available in this banner, so you can always get Whitebeard versus Shanks if you haven't pulled for them on the release of their banner. And probably looking at how the Sugofests going on release, probably it's gonna be with one gem multis this banner, and probably the release of White vs Shanks is not gonna have one gem multis. So maybe that's a thing that you want to consider. But obviously, if you wanna really guarantee Whitebeard versus Shanks, you're not gonna be able to do that in this banner. But yeah, Gaban, very cool option. And then we have the release of Legend Toki. Now, Toki is a very important unit for a strength team. Also, she's gonna be a unit for the Kizuna battle of the Pirate Alliances. So that is actually gonna be a really good option. Like both in PvP and in terms of alliance, getting Toki is a very good option if you have gone just for strength team. If you do not have Kit, then probably it's not really essential to get Toki. But Toki is very good for Kit in particular. So and the strength teams in particular. So I do really like this unit. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna be pulling for her or not. Her and the Straw Hat crew are where I have the most doubts about, but I'm gonna be talking about that later. So Toki, amazing unit for a strength team. Apart from a strength team, not that really. And then after Toki, it's gonna be very close together, but there's gonna be the release of the Straw Hat crew. So here they are. So the Straw Hat crew is a side based unit and it's amazing side unit for the side team. And yeah, if you wanna build a side team, yeah, you can use versus Shanks in the main team, but for has been seen in JP, Straw Hat Crew is an amazing option for the side team, mainly not only because of their defense, early defense, their damage and everything, but also because of their healing. The healing capabilities of these guys is insane, and the side team can really use that because the side team is really tanky, and if you add to tankiness the healing, it's crazy. So Straw Hat Crew, really good unit. And yeah, if you're going for a side team, this guy is, I wouldn't say it's a must have, but it's one of the best options that you can go for. And then we have the Summer Reiju and the Summer Bibi. Now, I'm not gonna be again talking about extensively about the information, but Reiju is almost an essential unit for an in team. There's in teams that also with Yamato that are not using her, but she is, I would say, one of the essential units of the in team. Very tanky, and provides your in team with so much tankiness and also some damage over time, which can be useful, but mainly the tankiness. So that is for Reiju, and Bibi is a very good option for a strength team. Now, I also have doubts about pulling this Bibi or not, because if I want to get the strength team, she's gonna be really good, and Bibi will be providing with massive special CT up to strength, which is obviously gonna be really nice for Kit. So that could be a very good option to do, apart from some attack up and speed, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, basically Bibi, strength teams, and Reiju for an in team. And then we will have the release of PvP Legends, so the second PvP Legend, which is gonna be Kizaru, and the PvP Limited Recruit Moria. So both of these units based on Dex, and basically make Dex beat Quick. Now that might sound really good, because Quick is very strong team, but the thing is, now knowing that there's gonna be Yamato, I'm gonna be talking about that now, but it doesn't seem as enticing now because Yamato will be probably and the in team beating Quick anyway, so why get a counter to quick that can just beat quick when you can have int now. But well, I mean, very good units to counter quick, very good units for Dex team. But yeah, there's gonna be another PvP legend, which is gonna be Legend Kuma. Strength unit, but this time for what I have seen, and I don't have seen a lot of Kuma, but for what I have seen and I have been told from JP players, and for what I think, it's kind of underwhelming unit, because I was expecting this unit to actually be kind of the thing that strength needed to be one of the best teams, but unfortunately we didn't get that. We get like a massive nuke for one unit, so he finishes one unit, but he has a high cooldown, so it's not really that useful. He can be niche, I think. I think he can be good in some variations of strength teams, but he is not required for the main strength team, I would say. So really unfortunate this Kuma. And also there's gonna be the release of CP0 Lucci, which is gonna be really good for a Dex team. He's a Dex center unit. Also not required, I think. There's a lot of options with Dex teams, so you have a lot of options, so you don't have like a required unit out of the units that are releasing from now on. I mean, if you want to build a Dex team, you need Kizaru and Moria, mainly Kizaru, if you're not bursting quick. But yeah, Lucci is a very good option for a Dex team, and if I would say if you are expecting the Dex team to be able to beat some other variations, probably you need Lucci, because he's a very high damage dealing unit, but I'm not really sure that it can do that, the Dex team. But yeah, so there's gonna be Lucci, and after that, well, and together with Lucci and not Lucci, together with Kuma on the PvP banner, there's gonna be the PvP limited recruit Arlong, which is gonna be really useful for a strength team. And after that, is gonna finally release the Yamato. So Yamato is insane in PvP, and I'm gonna be uploading a video talking about her tomorrow. So I'm not gonna be talking about her now, but just say that is insane. Like it makes absolutely almost zero sense. He's special, her special. It's really crazy. But I'm gonna be talking about Yamato in tomorrow's video. So now let's talk about what are the banners that I think that you should be pulling and what I'm gonna be doing in terms of PvP. So as I said in my last video, I already talked about the three Super Sugo units like Luffy, Law, and Kid. So I would say, looking now at the picture of the meta quote-unquote of JP, there's 5 colors, and I would say the strongest is definitely Int with Yamato. So the thing is, Yamato is able to beat probably all other colors, maybe struggling a little bit more against Sai, which are sworn enemies. These two colors, they resist each other's damage, and yeah, they debuff each other, so it's normal that it struggles a little bit more against Sai, but I do think that it can still get wins, and the same thing with Sai, I would say. But yeah, so basically we have 5 colors, and Int is the strongest one. It Sai can compete a little bit with Int, but mainly Yamato is the undisputed unit of PvP, I would say. So, but now let's talk about before Yamato releases. So obviously I'm gonna be recommending everyone to pull for Yamato. I think it's tier 0 legend, straight up, no doubt. So I'm gonna be obviously recommending to everyone to pull Yamato and to go for an Int team, because we're gonna be getting the Int meta apparently. So obviously that is no question in terms of PvP, but now the question is what to do before Yamato releases, because it's gonna be at least till New Year, so at least 3 months, possibly 4 months, and maybe even 5 months if they decide to release Yamato on anniversary. I do think that it's gonna be coming out in the end of the year, but we don't actually know that. So December is gonna be a confusing month, but let's just say at least 3 months. So for these 3 months we will have the 5 meta colors. So Int is gonna be very close to the other ones, and even it's gonna have a hard time beating the other colors. I mean, in defense it's gonna be really good, because it's gonna be able to time out a lot of the meta teams, but in terms of attacking teams, Int is even gonna be struggling without Yamato. So the first unit that we have set is Ace and Sabo, which is bringing the Rainbow team, which is kind of an apart thing from the 5 meta colors. Rainbow team is still really good because Ace and Sabo are amazing unit. So yeah, if you wanna go for a Rainbow team, I wouldn't blame you. Also, Sabo Ace is a very good unit for Pirate Alliance and the alliances and everything in Kizuna. So yeah, I mean, Sabo Ace, very good unit, and I'm sure it's gonna be really useful in PvP. So if you wanna go for Sabo Ace, definitely do that. I have nothing against them. So really good unit. Now in terms of the 5 meta colors, which is gonna be the interesting thing, I already talked about in my last video, and I do think that going for a strength team now is not such a bad idea. I mean, it was a much better idea before Yamato released, but going for a strength team is not such a bad idea because you can beat Dex, and with different variations, I'm sure you can beat Sai, and I'm sure you can do other very interesting stuff with Kid, but I haven't checked that yet because I haven't been able to test with him. So I do think that that strength can beat at least 2 of the meta colors, and also till the release of Yamato, it's gonna be like that. Maybe the Straw Hat crew is gonna be a little bit more difficult for strength to beat Sai, but still, I do think that it's possible. So I do think that Kit is a very good option, and if you're going for a strength team, then I already said Kit is the essential unit. Now, in terms of the other colors, at the end of this month, we're gonna be getting Whitebeard versus Shanks and Marco. Now, if you want to build the in team with Yamato, which I highly recommend, then probably you need, I would say, either Whitebeard or Marco. I mean, I wouldn't say you are required to have both of them. It's gonna be really nice to have both of them and be able to play around with these units. But I would say if you get Whitebeard, it's enough. And I would say also, kind of, if you get Marco, is enough. Like, you have some ways to play around with the units. But I do think that getting Whitebeard is a better option because you're not only getting Whitebeard, you're getting versus Shanks, which is an essential unit for a side team. And if you already have a PPNL and a side team, you only need versus Shanks to complete your side team till a Straw Hat crew releases. So that's an amazing option that you can do. So going for Whitebeard versus Shanks, really good option. So what I think I'm gonna be doing is pulling for Kid, getting the strength team, also trying to get my hands on Whitebeard versus Shanks, either on the release banner or in the Gaban banner, which is gonna be a little bit later. So maybe I do some pulls, not a lot, in the Whitebeard versus Shanks release. If I cannot get them, I will pull on the Gaban banner and hopefully get them. I really hope I can get them and get the side team, but yeah, we're gonna be having to see that. And then after we have all these, the Sanji, the Queen, the King, and everything. So I do not recommend pulling for these units, even though Sanji is really good in the side team. As I said, he's not required. Then the thing is, if you have gone for a strength team like me, then you probably need Toki. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be pulling for Toki though, because it's gonna be close to December, and maybe I wanna save gems to guarantee myself Yamato, because that's the main idea. But in the meantime, getting Toki is gonna be really good, and also the same for Straw Hat Pirates. If you have managed to get your hands on versus Shanks and have the side team, you definitely want Straw Hat Pirates. So if you are in the situation when Straw Hat Pirates released that you have Whitebeard versus Shanks and you have the side team, I would advise to pull for Straw Hat Pirates. Really good side team, and it's even managing to fight back a lot with the in team of Yamato. So I do think that that is a very good option to do. And then we have Reiju and Bibi. So yeah, as I said, Reiju is an essential unit, or almost an essential unit, for the in team of Yamato. I mean, there's variations that are not using her, but she can be really good in an in team. But the thing is that there's a part of the Yamato Sugofests that's gonna be having Reiju, and in case you have other teams like Sai or maybe Strength or maybe Quick, you're not gonna be using Reiju probably until Yamato releases. You can use her in defense if you have her earlier, and that's gonna be really good. But in terms of attacking teams, you're not gonna be using her until Yamato releases. And if you can pull on a part of the Sugofest of Yamato where Reiju is also available, and probably you're gonna be doing a lot of pulls there, hopefully you can get her, and you don't need to pull on 2 banners, you only have to pull on 1, so that is something already cleared up. Also, something very interesting that I saw, at least in JP, normally we get the same available legends, but sometimes something changes, so let's keep the fingers crossed that it's the same as JP just got, but part 2 of Yamato Sugofest actually has available both Ulti Page 1 Yamato and also Reiju and also Super Sugofest Law and Super Sugofest Luffy. So that's perfect, for example, for me, because I'm not gonna be pulling for Law or Luffy, but I would still like to get them, so I can get them in Yamato Sugofest and now just focus on Kid. So that's actually a very good option to do. And then there's Kizaru, which before I would have advised to pull for him to counter the quick team, but now, as I said, I don't recommend pulling for him because the in team is gonna be able to beat quick teams anyway. And then we have Kuma that I already also talked about it, and I said that you shouldn't be pulling. And then we have Yamato that is probably in terms of PvP almost a must pull, I would say, and Ulti Page 1, which is also very good in PvP. So the final picture of my decisions and probably my recommendations, but at the end of the day you can do whatever you want, is get Kit. I will be getting Kit. I mean, the Kit part, maybe it's dependable. It's because of my decisions, because I think it's a very interesting unit that I would be really happy to be able to play around and test some teams. So maybe if you're interested in that and you just want to have the teams to beat all the teams, then probably now going for Sai is the best thing. But now in terms of what I'm gonna be doing and what I'm really interested about, it is actually I'm gonna be going for Kit, so the strength team, and at the end of the month I'm gonna be trying to get my hands on versus Shanks to get the side team. So with both the strength team and the side team, I'm gonna be able to beat and compete probably with the side team against Quick, also against Dex with the strength team, against strength with my quick team without Magellan, it's gonna be able to beat the strength team, and then against Sai with the strength team, and against Int I'm gonna be thinking about some variation of the strength team, and we're gonna be seeing how it goes or not. If with Sai it's gonna be close, but Sai could do something against Int too, so I do think that that is a very nice option till Yamato releases. And then this is just related to, for example, this month, and with the other new units, that's a doubt when Toki, I mean the units before Toki and Straw Hat Crew, I wouldn't recommend pulling on. Just in the Gaban banner, if you have a side team and one Gaban, which is probably something you do, and also if you haven't pulled for Whitebeard versus Shanks, or you haven't had the luck to pull them, they're gonna be available on that banner, and you can also get them on that banner. So that banner, Gaban PvP banner, is also a really interesting banner to pull on. And then there's the interesting question of Toki and Straw Hat Pirates. Now, if everything has gone alright until that moment, you have the strength team and the side team, and you are able to more or less beat most of the teams. I mean, maybe there's some variations that you struggle against, and then Toki and Straw Hat Pirates release. But then, like at least a month after Straw Hat and Toki, it's gonna be the release of Yamato. Probably 2 months, but we're not sure. So only 2 months to say for Yamato, or just one even. It's gonna be really close together. So that is actually kind of unfortunate, because I myself, I would love to have Toki and I would love to have Straw Hat Pirates, but I'm gonna be having to decide where I pull from these two, or if I pull at all. And then obviously I recommend when Yamato comes, then pull for Yamato and get Reiju if you can and everything, and skip Kizaru. Then Bibi is also the other question. If you're going for a strength team, you probably want Bibi, but is it worth to pulling for her or not? Probably it's better to just wait. Once Bibi releases, not long after that, there's gonna be Yamato probably, but we're not really that sure. But yeah, so I would recommend to go for a strength team and a side team. And this month the main two banners to pull are Kid part and then Whitebeard vs Shanks release, and you can even wait and not pull on Whitebeard vs Shanks and pull on the Gaban banner if you wanna go for the side team a little bit later. But that's gonna be it for today. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these arguments that I have said and these decisions and everything. And yeah, so without further ado, let's actually end this video because it's kind of a really long one. And yeah, so let me know what you think and what you're gonna be doing, and what did you think about my process of thought and everything. But yeah, so as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.